The movie begins with a brief recap. Mayor Bellwether's plot is exposed by Judy's carrot recorder, she is sent to jail, and Nick and Judy become partners. Under a new mayor named Brian, Zootopia finishes building a massive weather control wall. Now official ZPD officers, Nick and Judy start their first day. Chief Bogo assigns the force to bust a smuggler at the shipyard. He tells the rookies to stay back and observe, but they rush ahead anyway. At the port, the smuggler, who is actually a port officer, catches them sneaking around. Thinking fast, they pretend to be parents. They claim their baby is a huge fan of the ship. While the smuggler is distracted, Judy breaks into a shipping container. A loud noise draws his attention as illegal goods spill out. The smuggler flees in a van. Nick and Judy commandeer a civilian's car to chase him, causing chaos across the city and accidentally destroying a new statue of Mayor Brian during its unveiling. Before they can make the bust, Detective Zebros arrests the smuggler. Judy later wakes up in the wreckage of the van and discovers a clue, a piece of shed snakeskin. At the police, Chief Bogo lectures them for disobeying orders, but Judy interrupts to show him the shed skin. She points out that since reptiles are banned in Zootopia, finding the skin is a major clue. Uninterested, the chief shuts down the conversation. In private, Bogo admits he respects their past work and likes them as a team. However, he warns them that if they continue to cause trouble, he will be forced to separate them. As they leave, other officers mock their partnership. While Judy is more determined than ever to prove their worth, Nick remains calm and unbothered. While Nick relaxes at home, Judy continues investigating the case. A news report catches her eye. A gala is being held to display the journal of Ebenezer Lynxley, the city's founder. The journal explains how the weather wall works and has been hidden since a legendary reptile attack many years ago. In the news footage, Judy spots the same van the smuggler used. She researches the journal online and finds a conspiracy channel hosted by Nibbles. According to Nibbles, the 100th anniversary of the weather wall aligns with the anniversary of the reptile attack. She mentions that a maid once died from a snake bite, even though snakes are banned. Judy calls Nick to share the news, but he just wants to rest. Ignoring him, she bursts into his house. When Nick argues that they can't get into the exclusive gala, Judy reveals her plan. They will sneak in using their old meter maid uniforms. The gala is underway with Zootopia's elite in attendance. Nick and Judy arrive and spot the smuggler's van nearby. Finding an open back door, they ditch their uniforms and change into formal wear to blend in. Judy is convinced someone is there to steal the journal and insists they protect it. To reach the VIP section where the book is displayed, Nick charms a wealthy bear into letting them through. Once inside, they stay connected via headphones. Judy goes to inspect the journal while Nick watches. Nick spots Chief Bogo in the crowd and warns Judy. While hiding from the chief, Judy bumps into Paubert, the youngest and kindest member of the Lynxley family. They begin a friendly conversation, but back at the buffet, Nick accidentally drops his headphones and discovers another piece of reptile skin. The head of the family, Milton, takes the stage with the mayor and his two eldest children, Catrick and Ked, who are busy bullying Paubert. As the presentation begins, Nick notices a mysterious figure hiding in the chandelier. He rushes to warn Judy, but crashes into Chief Bogo. As the angry chief grabs him, Nick manages to shove a spotlight, shining it upward to reveal the intruder. The intruder, a viper, leaps onto the stage, triggering a mass panic. The snake grabs Milton and the journal before fleeing. Judy and Nick give chase with Chief Bogo right behind them. During the chaos, they accidentally expose Zootopia's Ratatouille before Nick gets cut off by falling debris, leaving Judy to follow alone. The sneak retreats to a private room and uses Milton's eyes to bypass the biometric lock on the journal's case. Judy corners him, pleading for Milton's life. The sneak reveals that reptiles are not the villains, but Milton is. He claims the journal contains proof of their innocence and will allow reptiles to return to the city. Suddenly, Nick arrives and knocks the snake unconscious. Milton's eldest children, Catrick and Ked, burst in to warn him the police are near. Milton immediately drops his mask, ordering his children to kill the snake and burn the journal. He threatens Nick and Judy, telling them to stay quiet or be framed, but Judy uses fire to block them. As Judy tries to rescue the snake, it wakes up and thrashes wildly, tossing the journal aside. Chief Bogo bursts in and the panicked snake accidentally bites him. As Judy tries to help the snake, Catrick screams that Nick and Judy are siding with the snake. They throw the snake outside and a mysterious guy on a bike takes him away. The officers are shooting at them, so Judy grabs the journal and jumps from a window. While escaping, they bump into Mr. Big's car and his goons take them to the car. News of the attack spreads quickly, turning Nick and Judy into fugitives. While Chief Bogo receives medical treatment for the snakebite, Milton threatens the mayor. He demands that the trio be eliminated and the journal recovered, or he will replace him with a new mayor. Following Milton's orders, the ZPD begins a massive operation. In the getaway car, Judy tries to call her parents. Realizing the police will use the signal to track their location, Nick grabs her phone and breaks it to keep them off the grid. The goons take Nick and Judy to a handbag factory where Mr. Big's daughter now runs the family business. To protect them from the powerful Lynxley family, she provides them with new identities and advises them to go into hiding. Despite the danger, Judy refuses to give up. She asks Mr. Big for information about the journal, but he knows nothing. He tells her that if she wants to understand the truth about snakes, she must find a reptile. His daughter then hands them a business card of Nibbles, suggesting she is their best lead. Later, they meet Nibbles, who seems crazy, but Judy decides to trust her. Nibbles leads them to the Marsh Market, a hidden district where reptiles live. Her friend, Jasus, a lizard, explains that when Zootopia modernized, this area was cut off and forgotten, allowing reptiles to live there in peace. While walking through the market, Nick accidentally offends a juggling sea lion, but Nibbles quickly pulls him away. Then she calls a hippo who acts as a ferry to transport them to an abandoned ship. Meanwhile, the ZPD officers track them and arrive at the market. The sea lion points them towards the ship, but the officers make the same mistake as Nick and offend him as well. Nibbles introduces them to her friend Jasus, who offers them a bowl of worms. To avoid being rude, Nick and Judy force themselves to eat them, only for Jasus and the others to laugh. It was just a prank. Judy shows Jasus the journal. Noticing its metal cover, he explains that the secret must be hidden within the material, as vipers can see things in metal that mammals cannot. When Judy asks why this matters, Jasus reveals the stakes. The Lynxley family's maid died because of this journal. He explains that after her death, mammals stopped trusting reptiles, forcing them into hiding while the Lynxleys expanded the city. Now the family is expanding Zootopia again, and Jasus fears there is no way to stop them from taking over completely. The hippo officers and Hogbottom's team burst in, causing everyone to escape. Jesus tells Nick and Judy that the future of Zootopia is now in their hands before he flees. Suddenly, the viper reappears, grabs the journal, and heads toward the water. Judy tries to tell him they want to help, but he dives into a water pipe transportation system. Ignoring the danger, Judy jumps in after him. Nick warns her that the pipes aren't meant for land animals, but he is forced to jump in to save her. As they rush through the water, Nick warns Judy that they are running out of air, but she refuses to let the snake get away. Soon, Judy grabs the snake's tail, but its bag falls off as she loses consciousness from a lack of air. Nick quickly grabs her, finds a junction valve, and manages to pull them both out safely. They have a brief argument, Nick blaming Judy for the dangerous stunt. Judy searches the snake's lost bag and finds an old matchbook. A group of mountain goats appears and asks if they are all right. Judy asks them where the tube goes, and they see it going towards Copenhagen. One goat throws up some flowers on Nick. Judy sees it's the same as on the matchbook. She asks where they found it. They say it's at the top of the mountain where a honeymoon lodge is situated, which used to be a snake hideout. They say using the rope is a shortcut. As they climb the mountain, Nick is still angry about Judy's recklessness. He mocks her by playing back her old voice recording where she calls herself a dumb bunny. An argument breaks out, and during the tension, the carrot recorder falls and shatters. Devastated by the loss of their symbol of partnership, Judy finishes the climb in silence, leaving a guilty Nick behind to apologize. The ZPD officers also arrived and began to search the area. Nick and Judy search the whole place separately. Nick falls down and sees the officers are coming. Judy discovers a hidden room filled with investigation boards and newspaper clippings. The evidence reveals that a thriving snake neighborhood once existed before the Lynxleys destroyed it to expand their empire. Nick rushes in to warn her about the police, urging her to leave the evidence behind. He argues that the world is what it is and we can't change it. Judy disagrees, insisting that the world only changes when people are brave enough to try. Realizing their fundamental differences, a rift grows between the two partners. As the ZPD officers burst in, the floor collapses and the lodge begins to crumble. An officer pins Nick down while the others corner Judy. Suddenly, Paubert appears and rescues her. It is revealed that Paubert is the snake's secret ally and friend. As the building falls apart, Paubert and the snake work together to pull Judy to safety. Nick tries to reach her, but Judy is hit by a tranquilizer dart and faints. Paubert and the snake carry her away just as the ZPD officers close in. Nick is arrested and thrown into a police van. Milton arrives and demands to know where Judy is, but Nick refuses to speak. In retaliation, Milton orders the city's expansion to begin immediately, which will destroy the Marsh Market. He knows the public won't defend the reptiles after they were linked to the attack. While Nick is taken to prison, Milton's daughter Kitty shows her father a piece of fur found at the scene. Recognizing it, Milton realizes his own son Paubert has betrayed him and orders his team to find him. Judy wakes up on a motorcycle with Paubert and the snake. They break the news to her that Nick has been arrested. To stay safe, they head toward the city to hide. Gary introduces himself as Gary. He reveals that he swallowed the journal for safekeeping and vomits it up. Seeing Judy's concern, he reassures her that his teeth marks won't damage it because he has an antivenom coating. Paubert takes them to a secret house he uses to escape his family. Gary is amazed by the hideout. Judy asks how the two of them met, and Gary explains that he sent a letter expressing his wish to see the founder's journal. Paubert, who works in the mailroom, found the letter and eventually smuggled Gary into Zootopia. Paubert promises Judy that they will save the city and rescue Nick. They light a fire so Gary can use his heat-sensing vision to scan the journal's metal cover. As Gary draws what he sees, the shocking truth emerges. Zootopia was actually founded by a snake. Gary's great-grandmother originally designed the city and the weather walls so all species could live together. She partnered with Ebenezer Lynxley for funding, but he stole her work and claimed the journal as his own. When his maid discovered the theft, Ebenezer poisoned her and framed Gary's great-grandmother. This led to the expulsion of all reptiles and the expansion of the Snow Town directly over the original reptile city. Ebenezer believed the secret was buried forever, but Gary's great-grandmother had hidden the original patent in her old house. Gary finishes the map, showing exactly where the house is buried under the snow. Judy realizes they can locate the house if they light up the old buried lighthouse. She finds a note in the journal revealing that the switch is hidden inside the Desert Thundertown weather wall. Just as they prepare to move, they realize they are in trouble. Milton has tracked Paubert's location using his cell phone. Hogbottom takes Nick to prison and locks him in a cell surrounded by his enemies. Before she leaves, her partner informs her that they have found Judy. Nick discovers that Nibbles is in the cell across from him. After a failed escape attempt, Nibbles asks Nick why he fought with Judy. Nick admits that he only told her the case wasn't worth it because he was terrified of losing her. Touched, Nibbles reaches through the bars to hug him. Nick is shocked to see her out of her cell. She reveals she carved a key out of wood. Nick, trying to open the door, mistakenly opens all the cells. The inmates attack them and break down the door. Seeing freedom, they all escape in police cars. Realizing they need to get to the desert fast, Nick calls the only driver he knows, Flash the Sloth. To everyone's surprise, Flash drives at lightning speed toward the weather wall. Nick calls Benjamin, the ZPD receptionist, to help him track Hogbottom's location. Meanwhile, Judy and her team arrive at a festival near the weather wall. Realizing they are being followed, Judy destroys Paubert's phone to stop the tracking. They disappear into the crowd and head toward the wall. Benjamin eventually confirms their location to Nick. Milton, watching from afar, realizes their plan to enter the weather wall. He orders Hogbottom to kill them since they are out of tranquilizer darts. Hogbottom hesitates at the order to use lethal force, but as an officer bumps into her, she accidentally fires. Just as the bullet is about to hit, Flash arrives in his car, swerving in front of the shot to save them. They rush inside, but Nick is separated from the group when a door locks behind him. Inside, the weather wall begins to overheat and malfunction. Judy, Gary, and Paubert reach the control room, scaring off the engineer. Paubert closes the door to protect Gary from the cold machinery. Judy finds the switch and flips it, successfully lighting the buried lighthouse beneath the snow. Watching the CCTV, Judy sees Nick in danger, but is relieved when Nibbles saves him. Suddenly, Paubert betrays them. He injects Judy with venom and throws Gary into the freezing snow. Paubert reveals his true motive. As the underdog of his family, he plans to burn the original patent to finally earn his father's respect. He steals Gary's antivenom and leaves to deal with Nick. Outside, Paubert quickly takes down Nibbles. Nick wanders into the snow where Pobert corners him with a weapon. Back in the control room, a paralyzed Judy watches helplessly. Gary crawls back to her, telling her she is his only warm friend. Using her body heat to regain his strength, Gary vows to save her and recover the antivenom. The police burst into the control room and, seeing Gary over Judy, assume he is attacking her. As Gary tries to escape from the officers, a fight breaks out between Nick and Pobert on the icy ledge outside. During the struggle, the bag of supplies spills out and the antivenom rolls toward the edge. Gary screams for Nick to get the medicine. Pobert tries to stop him, warning that the ice is breaking and it's not worth dying for. Recalling his earlier argument with Judy, Nick disagrees. He decides it is worth the risk and lunges for the medicine. He manages to throw the antivenom down to Gary, who quickly injects Judy. The medicine works instantly. Judy wakes up, fights off the officers, and rushes to the ledge. As the ice collapses, Judy and Gary pull Nick to safety, while Pobert falls into the abyss. Safe at last, Nick apologizes to Judy. He tells her that even if they are different, she will always be part of his pack. Judy tells Nick he is the person who believes in her most and is the most important person in her world. They officially make up, their partnership stronger than ever. Nibbles, saved by Gary, comes in and points out that Pobert miraculously survived the fall. Pobert flees toward his family estate on a snowmobile, with Nick, Judy, Gary, and Nibbles hot on his trail. During the chase, Nick thoughtfully grabs a muffler to keep Gary warm in the freezing cold. Pobert bursts into his home, where his father, Milton, immediately attacks him for his perceived betrayal. Pobert quickly explains his true plan. He wasn't helping the heroes, he was actually securing the original patent. He reveals that the document proves snakes are the true founders of Zootopia and declares that he is going to destroy it once and for all to protect the family legacy. Unbeknownst to them, Mayor Brian is also in the room and hears the entire confession. Milton threatens Mayor Brian to stay silent and orders Pobert to lead him to the patent. Suddenly, Nibbles and her friends break in and attack the guards. Milton orders Pobert to go and destroy the patent. When they try to attack, Nibbles tells Nick and Judy to go. They will hold them off. Scared, Brian sees the fighting. Pobert grabs gasoline and flees through a garden maze toward the buried lighthouse. Nick and Judy follow but get lost in the maze, so they hop onto a construction crane to chase him from above. As the crane moves, it breaks the heavy ice, causing the old lighthouse to emerge from the snow. Nick and Judy jump from the crane onto Pobert. A struggle ensues, and Pobert tries to attack them, but Gary intervenes. Nibbles tosses Gary a wooden bat she carved, which he uses to knock Pobert out. Back at the house, Mayor Brian finally stands up to Milton's bullying and takes him down. After Judy ties up Pobert, the team enters the lighthouse. Beneath it, they discover the ancient city, perfectly preserved under the ice. Judy repairs a faulty light, and the entire underground neighborhood glows with life once again. Gary leads them to his great-grandmother's house, which is still filled with her belongings. Inside a hidden box, they finally find the original patent. Just as the team secures the patent, a fireball erupts in front of them. Pobert, fueled by desperation, has followed them into the underground city, intending to burn the entire history of the snakes and his rivals to the ground. However, before he can act, he's struck down by Hogbottom. Having heard the truth and seen the buried city, she finally realizes she was on the wrong side and chooses justice over her orders. The group emerges from the snow to find a sea of reporters. With the original patent in hand, Judy and Nick expose the Lynxley family's decades of lies. The news shocks the city. Zootopia was founded on the vision of a reptile. Chief Bogo is healthy again. The marsh market is safe because the big construction project was canceled. In a snake neighborhood, everyone is happy and playing. Gary's family finally arrives and they all give each other a big hug. Nick gives Judy a brand new carrot recorder. She smiles and quickly records Nick saying, "I love you." They have to go back to work immediately. While trying to save Judy earlier, Nick had to let 200 criminals out of jail, and now they have to fix it. Bellwether is at a counter buying a ticket to run away to a far island, but right behind her, Nick and Judy are waiting. They are ready to catch her and put her back in jail. And that's how the movie ends. If you enjoyed the recap, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more recaps. Thanks for watching.